welcome back to another video. My name is Amanda and welcome to my kitchen. Well, not actually my kitchen, but my channel, kitchen, yeah. Anyway, today I'm going to take you along on a really simple day of what I ate and another sourdough adventure. I'm making a cinnamon raisin sourdough loaf. My first time, again, so I was a little nervous about like filming it and doing it. I did have some hiccups, but I definitely excuse me, also learned throughout the process. So I just wanted to share it with you because like I said in my last video, I started my sourdough journey and I'm really excited to experiment. I think I'm gonna make like a separate video like in the future, maybe just kind of like how I got started and all that. But I kind of just wanted to do like the getting started like on my own, like kind of just something for myself instead of just like putting everything online. So yeah, so that's why I haven't done like just a separate video for that yet. But anyway, I'll stop rambling. I'm so grateful that you're here. If you want to see my cinnamon raisin sourdough loaf, stay tuned. And if you also want to see what I ate on this day as a vegan, then this is the video for you. And if you like my content and my videos, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, leave me a comment, share this video, and consider subscribing if you're new. So yeah, let's keep going. I woke up kind of hungry this morning, so I had a little snack as I got my day started, a leftover cinnamon roll, and then I had a half-cup oat milk latte to kind of get me rolling into the day. And then for my actual breakfast, I had a blueberry bagel, which I made in my last What I Eat in a Day video. So if you're interested in seeing how I made these or for the recipe, check out last week's video. I'll leave a card for it here so you guys can just click on it if you want. But this was one of the things that I made with my sourdough starter last week. So yeah, if you didn't see that video, check it out. But like, I really like how these turned out. I think I might make a few adjustments to the recipe kind of as I go, but I wanted something light for breakfast, and this is what I had. I actually meant to have some fruit with this because I bought blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries, and I had them in the fridge and I was going to eat them with this bagel, but then I got distracted because I was also making cinnamon raisin bread. So I enjoyed this and it was very good, so I was very happy. Maya wanted to eat it, but I didn't let her because I'm like, that's my breakfast, little one. Yes, that's her voice, kind of. Anyway, I just love her so much. So like I was saying, I made a cinnamon raisin sourdough bread this day, and I'm not sure what happened to the footage of me making the dough, but it pretty much started out just like regular sourdough bread, sourdough starter, flour, water, and salt, and then after a while you mix in some rehydrated raisins and walnuts, and then you let it proof, and then now here we are making the like cinnamon butter for it, which was just butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, and I think a little bit of nutmeg. I think, did I put the nutmeg in? I don't even know. But this is what the dough looked like after it had done its like bulk ferment and rise. Like I don't know if I think I may have like not had the hydration right for this dough. It seemed really sticky. I don't know if I overproofed it because it actually got really hot in my house this day. But like I said, I'm like super new to making bread and whatnot. So like this is a really like brand new thing for my journey. So I'm just kind of figuring out, trying to follow recipes. And then I feel like the more I do it, the more I'll be able to kind of make adjustments as I need, based on like how the dough looks and feels. But we're just gonna go with it. So the next step in this dough process, now that we're like actually caught up in terms of footage here, is making the cinnamon butter and then spreading the bread out into like a a large rectangle and then just kind of like spreading the cinnamon butter out like on a thin layer, which was a lot harder than you would think because like the dough was kind of sticky and like the butter was really thick. Yeah, I don't know, like I felt like I was making cinnamon rolls, it was just a lot harder, but you know, kept at it, and I'm like, it doesn't have to be perfect, it's gonna be on the inside anyway, what does it really matter? And then this is kind of the part that I'm still like not struggling with, but getting used to doing, and this was especially challenging with like the butter filling in the dough is like shaping. Like it's less scary, I guess, when there's nothing that's gonna like pop out of it, but like I was really afraid that I was gonna break the dough and the cinnamon butter was gonna leak out, and I saw it happen right in the bottom corner, and then you can see as soon as I pushed it forward I was like, oh no, I popped it, the butter's coming out. What do I do? Keep going is what I do. And I think I didn't really get to shape this dough like taut enough because of that, because I was afraid it was just gonna like totally fall apart. So I'm like, you know what, this is what it is, and I don't really know how I like got all the butter out of it. So if you've ever made like a bread like this, let me know in the comment sections below if you have any advice. I'm gonna try again. I just don't know what I'm gonna do differently, but I'd love to get some advice on how to make this bread not explode. Because that's literally what it did, and it made a mess of my banneton and of my counter, and like the bottom burnt because all the butter was exposed, and then this happened. Oh my god, trigger, I'm so sorry, like that just looks so gross. But it tasted good. Like I don't know what happened, like why there was just like only like this thin layer of like skin on it, and then it came out. So I apologize for anyone who thinks this looks gross. I agree with you, but sometimes it just be like that, okay? Like you came on this journey with me, please don't click out of this video because my bread looks wonky. I was kind of sad about it too, but we persevered. So while all that was happening, I was preheating my Dutch oven and we're ready to go. So I doubled up on the parchment paper just to kind of make sure that like it wouldn't explode when I was cooking it. But yeah, so here we go. The bread's going into the oven, and honestly, like it turned out pretty good. I did end up baking it for considerably longer than the recipe recommended because it like wasn't up to temperature, and I left the lid on the whole time. I know most recipes tell you to leave the lid on for like the first half and then take it off, but it's fine. Anyway, coming into lunch, because I decided that I wanted tofu scramble for lunch, because like I thought about making it for breakfast, but then I'm like, oh yeah, I have these bagels, so I had bagels instead of tofu scramble. So I wanted to have tofu scramble with my delicious homemade sourdough, so that's what we're doing. So I'm pressing a extra firm block of tofu kind of while I get everything else prepared. You'll need like your tofu scramble mix, which I made that in another video, so I'll link that here as well. For the recipe for the tofu scramble mix that I make, just to have it on hand, and then a little bit of non-dairy milk, and optionally you could add in some tahini or like almond butter to make it creamy. And then I crumble my tofu into a separate container instead of putting it in the pan, because I feel like the first pieces just kind of get stuck, and if the pan's too hot it'll like splatter, and that's like not safe. So I added my crumbled tofu to the pan, added just a little bit of salt and pepper just to kind of penetrate the tofu with a little bit of flavor, and then I cooked this for a few minutes until it started to get a little bit crispy, and then I gave it a little bit of a toss to let the other side get just a little bit crispy. You don't want to dry it out, but you want it to kind of lose a little bit of that moisture, which sounds like you want it to dry out. I guess you don't want it to get too dry. So, and then usually I mix my tahini oat milk and tofu scramble spice like in a separate container, but I just like wasn't feeling that today. So I'm like, what's gonna happen if I just mix it all in the pan? Let's see. So I got a heaping tablespoon of tahini, about 3 tablespoons of my tofu scramble spice mix, and then about a half a cup of non-dairy milk. You might need a little bit more or not, depending on how like liquidy you like it. I don't like it liquidy, so like I don't like to add too much. And then I also decided to add a little bit of this silk chili spice just to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit, make it a little different. And then yeah, just kind of cooked that until everything was nice and combined and the liquid had absorbed into the tofu / evaporated. So that's why you want to dry out the tofu, so the liquid can like reabsorb. That's like the flavorful liquid. And then here is the beautiful loaf of sourdough that I made last week. I kind of previewed that in my last video. I didn't go through making it, but I did like show you that I had made it in the last video. And I did kind of film these sort of back to back. So here we are actually eating it. And then I decided I wanted to show you guys the crumb first. So congratulations, you got to see it before I did, because I wanted to have like a nice little shot of that. And I'm still working on kind of figuring out like what makes a difference when I make the bread, but I think it looks pretty good. It's done. It's cooked all the way through. And I realized that my brand new sharp bread knife is destroying my beautiful wooden cutting board. So I will be not using this cutting board for cutting bread with this super sharp new knife anymore, which I will link that in the description box below too. So then I toasted up my delicious slice of sourdough, homemade sourdough that I made, which is so cool. I still am trying to comprehend the fact that like I made that. Like I'm really proud of myself. So like if you're thinking about doing something and you haven't done it for some reason, just do it and see what happens. And if it works out, that's so amazing. If it doesn't, don't give up. Just try again, because I bet that whatever it is, it's not as hard as you think it is. I don't know about you, but I always think things are gonna be so much harder, take so much more time, are gonna be way more challenging, and that holds me back from doing a lot of things, which is something that I'm working on. So I'm just trying to like just do it. I know that seems difficult, and it really is, but honestly, it is very rewarding, and the sourdough journey of mine is proof of that. So back to our avocado mash. I'm not a smash the avocado on the toast kind of girl. I do it separately because I like to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of olive oil and lemon juice like I did here, but other times I'll just add a little bit of garlic powder. Just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. But we did the lemon juice and olive oil thing today, and I did buy this packaged lemon juice, not from concentrate, because I kept buying lemons and forgetting about them and they were going bad. So I'm trying to be less wasteful. Here we go. We got our nice toasty thick slice of homemade sourdough bread, and then we're going in with that avocado mash, which I cut this toast gigantic, so I figured a whole avocado would be appropriate, and the proportion was quite well. Usually I'll only do like half an avocado if I'm just having one piece of toast, but this was thick, very thick, yeah, slice of toast. Anyway, I'll stop being weird now, maybe. So we added in our avocado onto our toast, and then I just always put like everything but the bagel seasoning on my avocado toast. I make my own mix, and I just save the jar. Like I bought this jar from Aldi like forever ago, and then I just remake the mix without the salt, so then I could add salt if I want. And then that's it for our avocado toast. And then we added some of our tofu scramble to that, and then I like to top my tofu scramble with a little bit of sauce, usually barbecue sauce. If I'm feeling spicy, maybe I'll do a little bit of hot sauce, but we were feeling barbecue sauce. This one's a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy, and it's great. And this was a delicious lunch. I was so glad that I had this for lunch. It was very filling, and I felt great afterwards. And then now we're coming back to our interesting experience of a cinnamon raisin bread loaf here. So we're gonna cut it open and see what she looks like. Yay, she's cooked all the way. Thank goodness. Maybe if I didn't have it in the oven as long, it wouldn't have burnt, but like I said, it wasn't reading like to temperature, so I wasn't sure if it was cooked, and I just wanted to be like absolutely positive that it was done because I didn't want to like poison anyone with raw dough. But yeah, anyway, so I had this as a little snack later in the day just because I needed to try it to find out how it turned out. So I just had it with a little bit of vegan butter, and it was good. It would be better if the crust wasn't burnt, but you know what? It was something new that I tried, and it didn't quite work out, but in the end it kind of did. So yeah. And then for dinner, I made these delicious nachos. Yes, those are French fries and rice on my nachos because this originally was going to be a burrito, but I decided I want something crunchy. And I wanted potatoes in the burrito, but I didn't want to go through the effort, so I used some of these seasoned fries. Shortcut. Ayo, that's okay to do. And then we crumbled up some tofu, and I'm keeping the seasoning really simple. This is going to be like tofu taco meat. I added about a tablespoon of avocado oil and about a tablespoon of soy sauce and gave that a good stir until everything was kind of like evenly coated. And then I went in with my taco seasoning mix, which I'm pretty sure I made this one from scratch, or I just put a packet in a jar, I don't know. But you can definitely make taco seasoning from scratch if you have all the spices, which I do. Yeah, so I put about a tablespoon of that, and then I decided to just use my air fryer to cook this because I didn't want to turn the oven back on. And then I had some leftover white rice in the fridge, so I added just a little sprinkling of taco seasoning on that to give it that vibe. And then I had these fire roasted peppers and onions that I got from Trader Joe's, another shortcut, woohoo, that I decided to kind of fry up a little bit to add a little bit of veggies to our nachos. And then I rinsed and drained a can of black beans and warmed those up along with the peppers and onions. And I put just like a tiny bit of pepper and salt on these, but other than that I didn't season them because everything else had a lot of flavor. So we laid out our chips. I got these nice and sturdy ones from Aldi, and then we're just gonna add all of these ingredients along with some pickled jalapenos and then this almond chipotle dip that I got from Trader Joe's. I thought it'd be good like a cheese sauce, so we're just gonna layer it up. We got our veg, we got our tofu taco meat, which turned out great in the air fryer. We got the rice and the French fries, which I just kind of like tore up and put on there, and then the toppings. And for the tofu taco meat, I just kind of put it in the air fryer, I think at 375 for like a half an hour, stirring it every 10 minutes. And then the last thing, we topped it with our pickled jalapenos and drizzled some of that chipotle dip over it. I did add a little bit of water into it, just so it was a little bit more of a pourable consistency to put it on my nachos. And then I put those back in the air fryer on broil, I think for like 2 or 3 minutes, just to kind of like make sure everything was warm and like get that like cheese sauce to like set. And then I added fresh avocado. If you have cilantro, that would be great on here. Even more pickled red onions, lettuce, like I intended to chop really fine and just add a little zhuzh, a little bit of freshness on there, but whatever. This was so good. Like, I don't know, it's been a while since I've just thrown something together and I've just been like, this is exactly what I wanted. I've been struggling with figuring out what to make, what to eat, inspiration, and this was just yes. So I'm so glad I turned this into nachos instead of a burrito. I was so happy, like even without the lettuce, and don't hate for me putting carbs on carbs on carbs, okay? It was fire. Try it. And I definitely made too much, so I didn't finish it all. I just wanted to show you, like, sometimes eyes are bigger than our stomachs. I didn't eat it all, but it was still fire. And fuel yourself until you need enough and then stop. It's okay. Alright my friends, that is a wrap on today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end. I really appreciate you guys being here. Let me know if you tried any of these recipes. I know I've made like tofu scramble a whole bunch like on this channel, but like it's a really easy like go-to breakfast, and had to have it on the homemade sourdough with some avocado. So like that is like, I could have that probably every day, honestly, for breakfast and not get sick of it. Let me know what like your go-to breakfast is, because I'm willing to branch out and try new things, but like that just like really hits for me because I'm a savory breakfast person. I like sweet treats and like sweet things for snacks, but like I'm a savory girl, like I would say. So yeah, let me know, sweet or savory, I'm curious to know. And then also those nachos, bro. I will say I had lettuce that I was gonna put on them to kind of lighten it up, and I forgot. And I even forgot when I ate the leftovers. So maybe I just wasn't meant to eat lettuce with those nachos, but like, I think that was bomb. So like that was probably the favorite, like one of the most favorite things that I've ate recently. So let me know if you try any of these recipes or what you've been cooking lately, what you're interested in cooking, any content that you'd like to see on this channel. I'd love to hear from you all in the comment section. But yeah, so I think we'll just wrap up here. Like I said, thanks for being here. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're new, share with a friend, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.
You